Just some movies I watched recently with a friend, and I felt like talking about them. The first one is called The Tunnel from 2011. It's filmed like found footage, and then the characters who are still alive give documentary style interviews. Kind of like Lake Mungo, for anyone who remembers that. It was okay. I had a hard time engaging with the characters because there wasn't anything about them that stood out. Except for one character who is basically to blame for the danger they're in and the previous deaths. It actually comes from Australia, so that's different. The story is about a team of journalists wanting to explore some tunnels in Sydney. Because of course it takes place in Sydney. As we all know, there are no other cities down under, just the one. I wouldn't give it a thumbs down, but it's not a thumbs up either. If you like found footage, you might like it a little, but it's not really doing anything creative or even that horrifying. Now we get into the good stuff. Magic. This is an earlier horror movie starring Anthony Hopkins, who plays Corky. Corky is special. And apparently this dummy is what inspired R.L. Stine to create Slappy from Goosebumps. Corky is trying to make a name for himself by using magic tricks he learned from magician Merlin Jr. He dies. It doesn't quite work out that well, so he resorts to something he is good at, ventriloquism. But something isn't right about this dummy Fats. It makes me think of the ventriloquist from Batman. Who's really controlling who? It was fairly disturbing. I wanted to see these characters get a good ending, and the Penguin is in it. Meredith Burgess. Thumbs up. Finally, we have the movie that I've been wanting to see for a long time, An American Werewolf in London. You probably never heard of it. Came out in 1981 or whatever. There's a werewolf, this guy, some other junk. I rooted for the characters in this, hoping a good ending would happen, but was sad when it didn't come. Didn't really buy the romance, and the comedy clashes with the horror at points. Would have preferred if it was more dramatic horror, but there was at least one funny scene in a porno theater. Didn't expect that. The werewolf effects are hit and miss. Transformation scene is definitely a hit, but the first one goes on for a little too long. I'm just sitting there thinking, okay, I get it. This is painful. And the song in the background is kind of killing the mood. Doesn't really sound like I like the movie, the way I'm describing it, but I did have fun. Thumbs up, I promise.